Method sitting 1-1, ARG at 0-1. ARG would love to go 1-1 here in the European Rival Series before they have to go into Veloce and Complexity.
Yeah. Oh boy.
No team has ever finished top 2 with 3 losses on the docket. So for ARG sitting 0-1 and having still very tough teams to come ahead, things are looking bleak for their top 2 position.
Yeah, I think that's really the way we're looking at that one right now. Right now, my prediction is not for ARG in a top 2 with this kind of schedule, but if they can come out strong against Method, then, you know, we could be looking at a turnaround. Maybe I have to rethink that because, as we mentioned, Method is a strong roster. They've got the experience in the Rivals series, and it is really up to them to define this series. So for me, ARG are going to be the X factor altogether. So many strong players, and they've had good performances in the past. Can they pull it out on the most important of stages?
Well, there's only one way to find out, Squid, and that's to pit them against each other here in a best of 5. Method and ARG facing off. ARG already on the back foot here, Burrito beat. We saw Method struggle really against Xenomoon early on in finding chances, and something that we noticed was that Method was consistent against Xenomoon, but just couldn't find the back of the net. Now ARG trying to put him in the hole early. Here's Oceanian on the far clear. We saw him last week perform well on stream for Method. Oceanian now beat on that shot. Rix Ronde, no support as everyone moved past him. Here's Oceanian once again. Pushing this one along is Burrito B. Method trying to formulate an attack. Here's Rix Ronde, a free shot down, turned away by GCR. Now it's ARG's turn. GCR pushes this one to the back wall. ARG a slow attack here as they accidentally run into each other. Method break out. Oceanian. Now Clayx. No boost to his name, just pushing this one downfield, hoping Mark by 8, who's been a standout player for ARG. It's been a huge offensive boon for them, a part of just about every single one of their goals in their one game that they've had so far. Here's Burrito B trying to get the bump across the net. Method slowly starting to put on some sort of attack, but ARG has been able to turn it away so far.
Yeah, and I was mentioning how ARG didn't necessarily, I don't think they came out as strong as they could have in week number 1, and so far holding Method to 0 goals seems to be a pretty good staple of, you know, a good team. So I'm looking to see what they can really do with this one. Are they going to end up taking the lead, or are they just going to drop it?
This ball bouncing across the Method side. ARG, Mark by 8 actually just gives up the ball by accident. He couldn't control it up the wall. Here comes GCR, beats one. Rix Ronde, the last man back, can't get to the ball, and ARG get the first goal on the board.
Well, there you go. That's the answer to my question, and GCR doing a good job of making sure that this one does find its way into the back of the net. Oceanian beaten out there, and Rix Ronde just a little bit too far up the field. Of course, sometimes you can't always be in the box. A little bit of a mistake there, I think, on the side of Method, but way to make use of it.
So ARG strike first, after what you thought Method had a little bit more pressure early on. Rix Ronde not able to follow that one up. ARG forced to come out of their own corner. Burrito B trying to slow it down. Mark by 8. A shot on target to the back post, and it goes off the crossbar. The save from Burrito B is credited. Another shot comes in from ARG, and this is what we've seen from ARG when we saw him in play-ins. Another shot, and GCR finds the second goal.
And assisted by Mark by 8. I mean, this is just a great pass. You got all that open space on the backboard. Why don't you make use of it? He says, okay, we'll do exactly that. And another, there's nobody on the goal line there for Method. We could see the one defender was there, but he was not anywhere close to being in position. He was still on the rotation.
And something that we said about ARG was that they looked really good in play-ins, and then we saw them play against Baguette Squad in their loss 1-3 to them on stream, and they didn't look very good. And also, so far here in game number 1 against Method, ARG have really started to find form in that play-ins form that we saw a few weeks ago. Rix Ronde there's a demo on the ARG side. It's just Clayx back. Mark by 8. Moves past one, buys himself a little bit of time and space for his teammates to get out and down the field. GCR beats one, looking for the pass across. He's got someone there at the top of the box. It's Clayx who puts it away, and ARG in full control, up by 3.
Loving the passing plays. This is really the same story as Veloce. You got GCR, he's able to make the solo plays, he's able to make the pass plays, and he's got his buddies to do it with him. There's Clayx with a great shot off to the left side. They just look to have so much space in the offensive half that they don't really care what Method's doing on the defense. They're just going to try and shoot their shot, and it worked out.
So the question is, now in the court of Method, what on earth do you have to do to get back into this game? They have struggled to put any sort of offense together. ARG have just controlled the Method side. And aside from clears like these to the ARG corner, Method haven't really been able to put anything together. But maybe an opportunity will come here. Ocelon with no boost, throws it to the box. A poor clear comes out from GCR, but in the end, ARG able to push it away. Mark by 8, a light clear into his corner. Method just waiting for the mistake to come from ARG, but with a minute left and you're down by 3, you've got to create your own chances. Mark by 8, that's a tough ball to defend for Burrito B, and the shot comes through for GCR. Not able to convert, less than a minute left now for Method.
And it looks like, I just took a look at Burrito B's cam there. It looked like he had plenty of boost to work with, so not going up for that ball on the backboard was a risky decision, did pay off. But still, giving them that kind of space on the wall when they've scored a pass off there before is stuff that you don't want to do. And you mentioned they're already down by 3. That's something you absolutely cannot let happen.
Oh, Rix Ronde trying to get a highlight of a goal there. Still can't find the back of the net is Method. Rix Ronde. And Method, everyone going for that ball. Rix Ronde once again gets a touch, but he's got no help from his teammates. Everyone was forced to play the defensive side. And ARG gonna walk into a game number 1 victory. Comfortable lead and a comfortable game for ARG, and it feels like the pressure now is on Method to make the changes necessary to take game 2.
There's more pressure on Method right now than there is on ARG in the game. I mean that in the most real fashion. They just weren't putting anything threatening on target. And when you're watching ARG on their own back line, it just seems like they're taking a casual Sunday stroll right now. But, I mean, for Method, you got to be making that offensive play. We've seen so much out of them before. You mentioned that Ocelon has been doing such a great job of being a striker. He's got 1 shot this game. That is an absolute must not have for Method right now. I mean, your star striker is basically just sitting on the bench.
Right. And so for ARG now, a 3-0 lead, and they have 9 shots to the 3 coming out from Method. Back to form for ARG. We were kind of questioning where this team would be after their loss to Baguette Squad. We mentioned it earlier on in game number 1, and now they come out and they really crush Method here in the first game. ARG, they're looking a lot better. Mark by 8 getting involved. GCR getting much more involved now, part of all the goals there, 2 goals and 1 assist. So things are coming together for ARG. Now can they carry that through a series?
And the momentum definitely in their favor. And we mentioned that Method, I feel like they might have come into this match thinking if they lost to Baguette Squad, they might not be the strongest team we've ever seen. Well, maybe it's time to do your homework because ARG is doing it for you right about now. They're just taking all of your striking opportunities. They're turning them against you in every way possible. Whenever you get the ball down to the orange side, it's sent straight back and oftentimes at the goal line.
And it feels like Method really struggling to break out of their own end. It felt like ARG had full control of the midfield boost as well. Just long clears coming out from Method when they had the chance, but ARG didn't give them too many opportunities to break out from their own end. It's what led to all the pressure, the 9 shots, the 3 goals, and the shutout for ARG. So we'll get into game 2 here, and we'll find out, can Method make a difference and the changes necessary to take down ARG here in game number 2, because right now it has not looked good.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it already. You got to get Ocelon a little bit more involved on the offense, but as is right now, they don't really have any offense to speak of. So when it comes to transitional play, how are you going to beat the ARG players? You already mentioned that they've got so much midfield control, what with the boosts and such. And I mean, it's really difficult to make a transitional play downfield with some sort of aerial pass if you have nobody that can aerial on your team. So, I mean, for Ocelon and Burrito B and Rix Ronde, what are you going to do about it? Because at this point, you can't just lie down and take it and expect to take a win in this series. And a loss here would mean that they're already matched for their losses that they had last season at 2 in series. So this is kind of a clutch up moment. You got to do something about this.
Get into game number 2 here. Method looking to make some changes and bounce back after a tough loss here in game number 1. Here's Rix Ronde. Popping that one up is for Burrito B. ARG not really getting too many touches on the ball here. Method pass out to Rix Ronde. Maybe a second touch. It is there. No one to follow it up from Method, and ARG slowly trying to find their way downfield here. They are across the box and still no shot comes from them. So for Method, already starting off a little bit better here. With 2 go for Method though, this is dangerous. Clayx, he's got 1 to beat. And with no boost, can't make it happen.
And it seems like I've already seen like the polar opposites from Method. We saw off that first touch off the back wall, you got both the players sitting at the midfield line saying, I don't really want to go for this. And then on the other end, you had both players saying, I really want to go for this. They've ended up double committing and they both lose it out. So you gotta find one or the other. You gotta have one person going for that ball. A great 50-50 from Oceanian. But again, nobody's close enough to make a play.
Clayx able just to steal that one away and push it upfield. Just past a minute here in game number 2, and nobody's really put on any clear chance. Rix Ronde maybe has one as that goes by everybody. Oceanian comes through to try and clean it up, but can't get it. Method accidentally put it to their own corner. Clayx is there, the pass across the box. Nobody from ARG is home, and Oceanian forced to clear that one away and buy Method some time.
And again, a scramble on the goal line. Method is not looking like they're very well-oriented right now. I mean, sometimes I can understand if you're going for a scramble on the goal line, but at least just say, like, I got it, guys, there's nobody coming. Something along those lines, but right now, we're just looking at what could basically be like a solo queue.
And it's funny because when I look at ARG, something I wrote down before this series was that I wanted them to stay organized. They didn't look very organized against Baguette Squad, but really, the same could be said for Method right now, is just disorganization on the defensive side of things, and a lot of the balls downfield are met by Rix Ronde, but with no support from his teammates, either with no boost or just can't get down the field that fast because of a double commit on defense or just unable to get involved on the play. So ARG really only have to worry about one player moving down the field right now, as Method have struggled to move as a unit, but maybe an opportunity here for Burrito B. Method trying to prove everybody wrong here. It's 2 back now. Oceanian throws this one towards the corner. Marked by 8, deal with that one nicely, but immediately met by Oceanian. The pass out, nobody home. Burrito B not able to get there, and ARG feeling a lot more pressure on defense, but maybe not as much, or not too much, where they can't give up a goal. GCR actually gives that one away to Burrito B. Maybe the second touch absolutely puts it away. Method up by 1.
They finally get that first goal of the series, and it's a solo play. None other than Burrito B. They're all capable of making these kinds of shots. An excellent read off of that top corner, and, you know, wasn't a passing play, wasn't necessarily the cleanest, but he had a good opportunity, and he took it. A good start.
So for Method, they get on the board. It's their first goal of the series. Took them a few minutes, but they finally find the back of the net. Now can they hang on and build upon their lead? ARG trying to respond back promptly here as Marked by 8, just going by everybody. But eventually gives the ball away. Oceanian sees the pass and pushes it downfield. Rix Ronde not able to get the touch there. Now Burrito B, he's got Rix Ronde at the top of the box, tries to give it back to him. Still a dangerous ball. Oceanian maybe a second touch off the back wall. Turned away by Marked by 8.
And for the first time in a while, it seems, we're seeing Method players starting to back each other up. Oceanian getting up for that ball. Obviously, he didn't have anybody immediately in the midfield, but it got cleared away. So, you know, it's kind of splitting hairs at that point. But it's nice to see. They're starting to keep the ball more solidly on the offensive end, which actually has been a theme most of the game. ARG haven't had too many opportunities of their own at all.
Burrito B met by 2 ARG players. It's Marked by 8 and Clayx. Marked by 8's going to take it himself. He gets 2 to go from Method. Maybe an opportunity, some space opening up for ARG, but immediately back in rotation. Burrito B gets there. Still pressing on is ARG. Here comes GCR. He's got Marked by 8 at the top of the box, cleared away by Oceanian. Now it's a breakout for Rix Ronde. The pass down, he's got a player on the box. It's Burrito B who finds the back of the net, and Method go up by 2 with 35 seconds left.
And that decision there by ClayX really kind of defined the play. He wanted to go for that 50-50. If he had read it right, that could have been moving the other way, but RLCS played that one perfectly. You can finally tell that Method are starting to find their rhythm. In the first half of this game, we saw a lot of unrequited passes. You see a lot of plays coming down in the midfield, nobody's there. This time around, not that way. A great meet by Burrito B and RLCS on the pass, and now another one coming through. Shot from Burrito B will find its way across the goal line, a 3-0 lead.
And it's just back to the basics for Method, getting control of the ball in the final third, finding the back wall uncontested, and having someone coming through and putting it away. Method find 3 goals in a flurry here, and ARG are in the hole.
And a hat trick for Burrito B as well. We should mention 2 of those assisted by RLCS. They're finally getting into their rhythm, as I mentioned. Oceania still kind of quiet in this series, but you know, as long as you get the win, I'm not sure if these players really care so much about how they're doing personally. You know, that's just the way it is.
A win is a win. And for Method, they will go on to take game number 2 here, and it does feel like the series that we just saw between Veloce and Vikings, where one team does well and then another comes through and makes some changes, and all of a sudden they take a game. So a 1-1 series here between Method and ARG, and now we're on ARG's behind and say, what's going on with them? They lose now 3-0, so it's 2 3-0 shutouts for both teams. And ARG were reduced to 2 shots to the 9 that they had in the game before, and it just feels like that they could get nothing going.
So it's the same ratio of shots as well. Method with 6 shots, ARG with 2. ARG had 9 shots, Method had 3. This is going to be like the comeback story for Method, where it was basically, okay, guys, we were screwing around in the first game. It's no big deal. We were joking. It's just a prank. There's the camera.
We all got pranked.
We all got pranked. I don't know.
Well, so for Method, though, I think that the passing plays across the box definitely came through a lot more. They looked a lot more organized on offense. They still looked a little shaky on defense, but for ARG, I think for them, it's about creating a lot more of your own chances. We didn't really see much. We saw a couple plays in the corner. Mark by 8 was doing a lot, but then his last touch, he would just give the ball away, kind of flailing out to push it to the top of the box for a teammate. So Method, again, showing some consistencies of just playing this kind of mediocre Rocket League throughout, and then they turn it on when things click, but it's really not really too bad, and it's really not too good. We're just kind of seeing Method go about their game.
Yeah, it does seem that way a little bit, and I have to say, you could see the improvement from Method as that game went on. We had, you know, the first half was kind of like, okay, we're seeing a lot of passes that aren't really going to anyone. The second half was, we're seeing a lot of passes, and they're going to people. Transitional plays included, and they shut out ARG. And I have to wonder now, was ARG just getting complacent with their situation? Did they not play as strongly that game because they thought they were going to get an easy win, or did Method just really outplay them? And GCR says, well, I don't think Method outplayed us that badly. I think we're going to take the lead.
Well, and they just respond immediately off the kickoff. A lot of time and space was given by Oceania to Mark by 8 to catch up to that ball, and GCR, good positioning from him just to be ready in case it came across, and it did. ARG find the back of the net early.
Well, for Method, at least it wasn't with 8 seconds left on the clock. It's only 8 seconds off of the clock. So there's plenty of time to come back, but I want to know how this game changes, because every games 1 and 2 are both shutouts. So will Method be responding to this one?
Method want to find a goal early to tie this one back up. RLCS. Now Burrito B pushes it past one. RLCS tries to get the touch off the sidewall, and it can't. Here's Burrito B over to Oceania. Now RLCS goes everybody up from Method. Burrito B just sitting back, waiting for ARG to come. Burrito B once again gathering, but not keeping the ball here in the midfield. RLCS forced to go up. Oceania went as well, using a little bit of his boost, but able to get a nice clear out to the ARG side. So a bit of a stalemate after the first early goal. Shot still coming on from ARG, but nothing to be too scared of for Method. And ARG doing a good job of just not letting Method out. 2 go once again for Method. Small double commits coming out from Method, but really nothing punishable by ARG right now.
And they are double committing. You know, it's always bad to double commit. Well, I guess it's not always bad, but at least we're seeing that semblance of, you know, more players are willing to go up for the ball. We're not seeing cold feet on the side of Method. So will that change the game as we move forward is the question that I really have. Good passing opportunity here. Oh no, the crossbar and away.
4th defender coming out for ARG here. Burrito B popping this one up over Mark by 8. Everybody's up for ARG, and only GCR gets a slight touch on it. Here's Burrito B. Rix Ronde is there. He always seems to be in the mix for Method. Not able to get the touch at that point. Ocelon keeping the attack on, but it slowly fizzles out, and ARG get a welcomed clear as they had given up quite a bit of space. Ocelon, full boost. A pass over to Burrito B, down to Rix Ronde. A free ball for Mark by 8, looking for the backboard now. Ocelon's got to get up for this one. He does. ARG have a lot of time and space to work with now. ClayX opts to go to the corner, and Rix Ronde, there to meet it.
And at the half now for Method, we've seen a couple of opportunities trying to go the other way. ARG was able to respond to it in their part, paying their dues on defense rather easily. Oh, Ocelon, I like what I'm seeing out of that one. Starting to get a little bit aggressive with the solo plays, but no dice.
And ARG able to get down the field. ClayX lofts one across the box there, but no ARG player there to meet it. Here's Mark by 8. No boost to his name. Rix Ronde. A poor clear out. ClayX, again, no boost to his name either. ARG, they got possession the final third, but they got no boost to act on. And dunked away by Rix Ronde. Maybe an opportunity here for Method. A slight touch thwarts that one for Method. And now with 1:40 seconds left, Method still scoreless in this game. They've got 2 shots, but just haven't been able to convert.
And it really feels like that might be on the back of ARG because they've had some solid backboard defense and just solid defense overall. I don't really think there's any other way to phrase that. They really thought about the last game. They said, okay, we might have given them a little bit too much space. Let's make sure that we close the gap every time they're in the offensive third. And so far, they've been doing a great job.
Time slowly becoming a factor here for Method. Great pass out to GCR. The time and space that he has, maybe a little bit too much for Method's liking. Rix Ronde. That was clear straight to GCR. ClayX is up for this one, trying to knock it down. Instead, he clears it for Method. 2 go once again for Method, but another double commit that's not really punishable as they do get a good clear from it. ClayX trying to prevent the Method onslaught here from happening, and they do. Ocelon on the back wall, forced to make that touch. He was the last one back. Coming up on 30 seconds left now for Method. They really haven't shown any offense in the last minute or so.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of deferential gameplay from ARG. When Ocelon was on the back wall there just a moment ago, nobody on the orange side was going. They realized that Ocelon was forced to make a play. They didn't really have to push that one too hard to keep it in the offensive half, and that's really where it's remaining right now. Great touch, though, from Burrito B finding the corner.
Mark by 8. Trying to clear this one away with 15 seconds left. Method, it could be their last opportunity, and it's given away over the top of the Method goal. Burrito B's got to make the save. He can't, but it goes off the crossbar from the shot from GCR. Mark by 8 has an opportunity to put this game away. Method might do it all on their own. It's still up. Can they get to it? No. The pinch too hard, and ARG take game number 3 in a close 1-0 win.
And again, a shutout. But I have to say, you know, Method, they didn't have a lot of redeeming factors in this one. They, of course, got a little bit of offense, but not even close to what ARG had. What I will say is even at the very end, I saw Ocelon looking for his teammate. There was a bump on the field as well in favor of Method. So even at that 0-second mark, they're still keeping a level head. So that's at least one really good thing. That, you know, you got to be able to keep that cool mentality even in the clutch situations. So when they're looking for those passing plays, they realize they have the potential to move downfield. They're recognizing that, hey, guys, we haven't had a lot of offense, but that doesn't mean we're just going to give up and, you know, let them take game 3 that easily.
So the thing about Method that is very strange to me is they came into this week 1-1. They lost one game, they won one game. And they have a -5 goal differential, now -6 as they give up one goal here, and they went 3-3 in the last 2 games. So for Method, they have a -6 goal differential at this point. So they're not really outscoring their opponents too much, and you're kind of seeing that in this series. It's like when they score the goals, then they don't really let anything in, but when they don't score, they just let all the goals in. And so they got to win with a -5 goal differential. Tells me that Method is struggling on offense. And while I have said that they play kind of consistently throughout a series, they're not converting that into goals. And that's exactly what we saw in the last game in particular.
So now, the question that I have, are we just going to see another shutout here? Because it was a 1-0 shutout, and granted that, of course, that's close. It's still a shutout. that doesn't change that fact. And ARG looking to close it out here. They looked pretty strong, but honestly, Method, we've been seeing a lot of, signs of, hey, we want to get these passing plays started up. It just feels like, they got all the puzzle pieces, but they don't know where to put them yet. They're just trying to put them in the wrong spots.
So we'll see if Method can make the change against ARG in game number 4, or will they drop a series to ARG in a much-needed win for ARG. GCR on the back wall looking for that play across. Goes behind him in the end. And already we're seeing pressure coming down. Oceanian turned away by the ARG defense. Now ARG on the attack. A shot comes out off the back wall. GCR waiting patiently for this one to come to him, and it does. Maybe one more opportunity. Burrito B jumps on top of it. Rix Ronde now looking for the pass for Oceanian. It never comes. And slow play coming out from Method, met by the speed of ARG. The transition downfield, and just like that, Mark by 8 finds the back of the net.
And I love having faith in this pass from Klex because he recognizes there's a player on the backboard, but I know that my teammate is going to be able to get it around. And Burrito B just barely not enough boost to get it, but great placement, getting it off the top corner, just enough so that it moves into center for Mark by 8 to be able to make the shot. Quality passing play all around.
So Mark gets back on the board, and it's the first time we've seen him. He came into this series with 100% goal participation. That is no longer. Rix Ronde. Now Burrito B, a second touch. Cleared away by GCR. So Method find themselves on match point, down by 1 goal. 3.5 minutes left here in game number 4. Mark by 8 threatening. Oceanian forced to go up for that one. Another double commit comes out from Method. We've been talking about a lot of panic defense. Does come down to positioning and the trust in your teammates. And of course, communication. Mark by 8. Not able to get to that one, but ARG really putting on the pressure here. As Method finally get out of their own end. Clayx met it in the corner here. Now Burrito B. Oceanian. Pass back to Rix Ronde. But really not going anywhere from Method. They have possession in the final third. They have a couple passes here and there, and they're keeping the ball, but there's no shot at the end of the play.
I'm going to stick with what I said earlier. They've got a bunch of puzzle pieces, and they don't know where they go quite yet. And ARG, I mean, we've seen a couple of opportunities for them on the offensive end that, maybe shouldn't have been. A great pass here and a great save by Mark by 8 to send that one away. Method remain on the offensive end, but only for a second. It's cleared straight down the other way.
Method looking for their first quality opportunity here in game number 4. It feels like that they haven't had too many. Oceanian looking from the pass, but broken up by ARG. Now Clayx trying to go onto the dribble. Burrito B now, no boost to his name, and he can't get to the ball. Still Method keeping this one on. ARG, another great clear out of their own end, buying themselves so much time, forcing Method to go on the back foot.
And remember, this has been a series of all shutouts, and ARG going to try and keep adding to their score line right here. Now Method, would have been a challenge to score that first goal. As we mentioned, they have trouble scoring when they have nothing on the board and they're down. But now it's going to be an even tougher challenge, compounded on top of that.
Well, if there's a time to do it for Method, the time is now in game 4 when backs against the wall down by 2. You got 2 minutes, or just under 2 minutes, to make it happen. But still, ARG charges on. A relentless attack that we've seen throughout the series. And aside from game 2 where ARG were shut out, they have really put on the pressure.
And think about that, that's 3 goals over this entire series so far. 3 goals over 3 games, and potentially 4 if Method can't pull this one out. Final 90 seconds now, and ARG looking incredibly solid.
This one off the back wall, Oceanian looking for Rix Ronde. It's another good passing play from Method, but leads to nothing as the ball just given up above the net, excuse me. Here's Burrito B. Mark by 8 into the Method corner. Burrito B just trying to prevent an ARG player from receiving it in the midfield, but he just gives it back up to the last defender. Great clear coming out from Rix Ronde. A little bit of breathing room now for Method and maybe a chance to control the midfield. It's given up by Clayx. Method on the attack. If they want to score, they got to do it here soon. And then get another one as Mark by 8. Great touch from him. slow down that attack from Method. Ocelon actually gets it through. It's GCR, though, who's going to be able to get in front of that one and push it to the corner. Burrito B might have a chance here. Less than 30 seconds left for Method. Still scoreless. Ocelon. Everybody in front of the net for ARG. Can Burrito B knock it down? He opts to go for the back wall. And Ocelon can't get up. 15 seconds left, and things are not looking good for Method. They really just want to score with time left at this point. Everybody commits on that play from ARG, and you can start to sense the panic coming out from Method when they know they're on defense. Time's ticking down. That is going to do it. ARG are going to shut out once again Method and take the series 3-1.